what are some of the things we want to achieve through this shifting paradigm a bit is to move away from just thinking about tissue pathology exclusively in an exhaustive search for it to making a reasonable attempt at broadening the picture as well in trying to help people with chronic pain. Moving away from just thinking about pain reduction to thinking about pain reduction and improving function in various ways. Moving away from thinking there's just nothing I can do to help you to together we can work on ways and skills and tools to help you with your pain and your function. And finally, to moving away from thinking I've only got one tool and that's the prescription pad and that's how I end my visit, to there are a number of ways, a number of tools in the toolbox, a whole range of solutions that we might use. Now, just something I wanted to talk a little bit about scope, because there's really two ways you can think about chronic pain. You can either split it all up and slice it and dice it into the various conditions that started it or initiated it, and they run the whole spectrum of medicine and healthcare and trauma and surgery, everything. Or you can kind of shift over to the right and think more about chronic pain and all of the consequences of chronic pain. For now, initially, we'll go a little bit more to the right and talk about the consequences and how in a practice, as we're hearing from David and others, and you know how we're going to help deal with that problem. But I also want to make sure that we acknowledge that, of course, you are doctors, and one of your jobs is to find pathology and not to just completely forget about the left side and the etiologies. As you go through the journey with the patient, you'll find you're kind of shifting more and more to the right. But new techniques, new technologies, new information come to light, and we don't want to forget about looking for problems once in a while. But we also don't want to be so fearful that we're going to miss something that that's all we ever do. And I kind of think of this a little bit like walking, ironically, I know. Left leg, right leg, left leg, right leg. Once in a while you're thinking about what's going on underneath in the pathology. The next time you're thinking a little bit more about the chronic pain and the consequences. So you need to kind of marry these a little bit, and no one can really tell you exactly how to do that, I don't think. You've all been trained well, and you're going to rely on your medical intuition and your judgment and trying to find red flags. But at the same time, you want to kind of marry that with the bigger picture and not remain on one leg too long. If you stay on the splitting side of things in the etiology, you're going to fall over and you're going to miss the big picture. And if you stay too long thinking only about the consequences, you might miss other opportunities to help people with your more traditional biomedical knowledge. And I've struggled with this in my career a lot, sometimes staying too long in one spot. And I think the best you can do is recognize when you've been on one focus for too long. I've had times where I've missed an epidural hematoma in a chronic pain patient who had back surgery and all kinds of huge problems going on, the whole chronic pain spectrum, and so it was very easy to kind of go, well, this is just more of the same. But somewhere in the back of my mind, if I'd paid a bit more attention in retrospect, I realized, there was something more going on there. And he had an epidural hematoma and he got it dealt with. But it's just a reminder that generally, we're going to shift more to the right, and this PSP is going to be a bit more about that, but not to forget about the left as well. So I've put up a picture of the human body here with all of the organs. You can see, right, what? It's not a human body? What is it, Gary? What do you mean? That's how it looks, isn't it? Okay, well, all right, it's a watch, okay, yeah. Same thing though, right? Can't we just look inside and just, find that broken bit and take it out and fix it? Can't we do that? No? Has anybody had a knee surgery and not gotten their chronic pain gone? What about epidural steroid? Do we fix everybody that way? No? Really? Okay. So that's not how it works, you're telling me. Well, either then we are just really crummy doctors, or we should be hiring watchmakers to fix us, because they fix watches and they work again. They do. Or there's something more going on. I think you probably all know that.